The light then flies across the base, across the flight line, and as it flies to me, a triangle manifests around the light.
It's going to get out there that we're not alone. The problem is people don't know what's extraterrestrial versus what's ours versus what's from another dimension.
This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. Another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile, and I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does.
Let's freaking go, y'all. Welcome back to Unreal Reality, guys. Today, we'll be reacting to mysterious videos you'll regret watching alone. If anyone's new out there, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button so this video gets recommended to others. And with that out of the way, let's jump right into it, y'all.
The light then flies across the base, across the flight line, and as it flies to me, a triangle manifests around the light. I can't tell you if it's active camouflage. I can't tell you if it appeared around the light, but I can tell you that it was a white light, and then it was a triangle. It stopped about 100 feet in front of me and approximately 100 feet above me. My telephone got extremely hot, completely froze, dead. I remember how thick it was. It was between 1 to 2 stories thick, equilateral triangle. I could never see the top of it, and the edges were 90 degrees. There were 4 lights in total, 1 light on each corner and a larger light in the center, 2 to 3 times the size of the corner lights. But what was really odd was the outside. The best way to describe it is like looking at a James Webb telescope picture where you have the colors and then the black background. So the craft itself was this black metallic flake paint, but on top of the craft was this gold, lava, plasma, some type of fluid going over and around the craft. I'm under this for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then the center light flashes 2 to 3 times, no sound, immediately shoots up to commercial jet level minimum, in my opinion, and I immediately feel static electricity all over my body, and then I smell the smell of after a thunderstorm or lightning storm.
Yeah, plasma doesn't glow like that unless it's alive. And if it was alive, that means the ship was too. Guys, he didn't see a UFO. It sounds like he saw a warning. Let's see what this next retired vet got a look at.
I was off duty, sitting in my backyard with 2 other police officers when we noticed what first appeared to be a satellite in orbit, but it wasn't acting like a satellite. The light was strange, it was pulsing, and then it started to maneuver. It dropped in elevation. At times it would vanish from view and reappear in a different location in the sky, and eventually it reappeared 200 feet over my house. It was a 30-foot diameter sphere of light. My friends and I watched it for a moment, and then it gently accelerated and traveled up and disappeared into the stars. These events profoundly changed my life and the lives of my friends. We stand at a pivotal moment in history. The question is no longer whether these events are real, but whether we have the courage to face them.
Yeah, so a pulsing sphere of light that disappears and then reappears is definitely not vanishing. It's simply choosing when it wants to be seen. Let's see what Dr. Stephen Greer has to say about all this madness.
It's going to get out there that we're not alone. The problem is people don't know what's extraterrestrial versus what's ours versus what's from another dimension. That's extra dimensional and not extraterrestrial. And there's some fine lines between the two, but very important ones. I think we're going to get into a period where clarification of which of these phenomena, plural, are actually from another star system and which are concocted by counterintelligence operations for the purpose of gaslighting the public, but more importantly, inducing fear and trying to build up a global military-industrial complex response to a threat from outer space. That's always been the objective of the secrecy, by the way. That's number one. Number two has been hiding the technologies that would terminate oil and nuclear power, and for that matter, wind and solar, with the very advanced energy and propulsion technologies, which have been mastered for well over 80 years. But this is why we did the documentary, The Lost Century, which everyone can see for free on Tubi or Amazon Prime or wherever.
So, long story short, when the aliens finally show up, the scariest part won't even be them. It'll be us trying to figure out if they're even real.
guys, look. There's no one here. No one in this corner.
Okay.
Look at this. Still, nobody here. Look at my left camera.
Yo. Creepy. That is low-key absolutely terrifying. I'm not gonna lie, guys, this clip is way creepier than I expected it to be. I'm curious, what do you guys think? Did he stop and give him a hand?
Welcome to part 4, a building working Iron Man gauntlet. So the last episode, we got all of this done, and we got most of this done. In this episode, we're gonna add this in, connect everything, see if it works. So as you guys know, we got the hand done. We have to add the back onto it. However, we need to add our servos first. We're gonna go ahead and put these two inside of here and screw them in. We got the hand done. Unfortunately, I can't stick my hand in here because there's so many wires. So what I'm gonna do is push them all under this, just like that. As you guys can see, we've got everything plugged in, and these wires, I've had to add some extenders right here. All right, let's test it really quick just to make sure everything's working okay and the servos are still on. Looks good. Now we're gonna go ahead and start putting these outer layers on here. I had to print more pieces for these hinges right here. I'll be right back. Well, I spent hours trying to fix that, and unfortunately, I'm not able to put these sides on yet. I gotta get the right screws, so I ordered them, but here it is so far. We're gonna put it on and test and see if it works. I mean, I think that's what it was supposed to do originally. This is the biggest project I've ever worked on, so thank you guys so much for being interested in this, and follow for more.
Yeah, so he's basically Tony Stark 2.0. If he can build this in his home garage, just imagine what he would be able to create with an actual military budget. Let's check out another one of these DIY mechanical nightmares.
Left them plugged in again. Whoops.
He said he left them plugged in by accident. Imagine waking up to that in the middle of the night.
It doesn't happen that often, but it usually... I don't know what he's doing now. Oh shit, not again. Okay, so he should be fine now. I just need to remember to unplug his power. At least one of them. So, good night, buddy. Taking your teeth. Oh, there you go.
Imagine getting woken up at 3 a.m. to a robot lullaby. That sounds like Satan's ringtone. This guy didn't build a robot, y'all. He built a lawsuit waiting to happen.
This new AI image model from Google is insane. You can now take any photo or video and one-click swap anything into it. Like here's Timothée Chalamet at Hogwarts. Now the big difference and why this model is such a breakthrough is the quality and control of the editing. These are clean, perfect deepfakes made in a single click. We are now officially way past the AI slop era when it comes to images and videos. If you want to make clips like this yourself, the easiest workflow is to use this image model, Nano Banana, and Google Veo 3 inside of Higgsfield or FreePic. You can just go in, add or create your base text-based video, add in your subject or product reference, and it just works. Infinite combos, infinite customization. It's actually
Insane.
really fun to play with.
Unreal.
Now, the examples I just gave kind of make this seem like a silly toy, but if you're a marketer or a business owner, what just happened here is insane. Because you can now take any content or ads that are working and swap in 1,000 different creators
Crazy.
with hundreds of different poses and dozens of different product variants, all in just a couple minutes. And this is the first time that use case is really possible with AI tools. I don't care what people say, the avatars and creative controls before just weren't convincing enough. They were too fake, too unreliable, too many mistakes, too inconsistent. But now, this is the first time AI ad workflows are gonna start actually working at scale. It might not feel like it yet, but I think this breakthrough, Nano Banana, will end up being the ChatGPT moment for AI image editing. And the content game just officially changed again.
Yo, these deepfakes are so good, they'll have you doubting your own baby pictures. Never mind catfishing, guys. We're about to enter the age of existence fishing.
Which one is AI?
The top. Not even gonna try. Listen, guys, when you can't tell the difference between something that's real and something that's AI, congratulations, you've officially entered the Matrix. Guys, at this point, even my own mirror reflection is straight up under investigation.
This shows how big a moose actually is.
Isn't that a bear? That's crazy. It's huge.
If you've never seen moose in real life, it's hard to actually grasp how big of animals they actually are. I mean, they are the absolute giants of the deer family. Just their size is impressive. A big bull can be 1,600 pounds, and even like the big record ones are up to 1,800 pounds. That's almost a ton.
Wow.
And at shoulder height, they're like 5 to 7 feet, which means their eye level is equal to a basketball rim. So like 7 feet to the shoulder, and then their actual head and eyes are pretty much even with a basketball rim. So if you can just kind of really visualize that, you can see how big they actually are. And seeing this angle from these trail cams up in the Yukon, it shows that grizzly, which that's a big animal too. And then that lynx, I think is what it was, comes by. And then it's the same exact angle, like camera angle, when the moose comes by. And you can just see how much bigger that animal is than even that big grizzly. So the more stats I see on moose and their size, the more mind blown I am.
That's not a moose. That's a horse on steroids wearing a pair of fucking antlers. Could you imagine hitting one of these with your car? Goodbye car, goodbye you, goodbye moose, and goodbye road.
Did you know the judge that released this guy didn't even go to law school? Yeah, not even a lawyer. Yeah, these magistrate judges that are making a decision to release these people without bail, yeah, they're not even lawyers. They didn't go to law school. They didn't pass the bar. They just got appointed.
Wow.
To be judges. No training required. Oh yeah, and that's the case in states like North Carolina, South Carolina, West Virginia, Texas, Arizona. They don't even have to be lawyers, but they can be judges. They don't have to go to law school. They don't have to pass the bar. However, they sit in judgment over people who did. How the is this a thing? How the do we have judges who didn't even study the law? How did this ever become a thing? That's one of the most insane things I've ever heard. Like, to be somebody's lawyer, you have to go to law school, you got to pass the bar. Like, just to represent a client, you have to do that. To be able to prosecute that person, you got to go to law school, you got to pass the bar. But to be the judge, to be the person overseeing these lawyers, to be the ultimate arbiter of the law, you don't have to go to law school, You don't have to
Crazy.
pass the bar. How is this a thing?
Oh, that is absolutely wild. I thought that whole DEI thing was like done and over with. Guys, this is like a plastic surgeon who didn't have to complete med school. You think that's scary? Check this one out. Clown. Only in America do you get live action GTA on the freeway. Could you imagine passing this guy in your rear view? Hey honey, was that a convict in orange waving at us? We were later told that this next clip we're about to see was of this guy's actual arrest.
A man in Canada arrested for allegedly driving drunk while in a Barbie car. Video posted on social media shows the man driving the toy car on a busy street in British Columbia, where police say they pulled him over and then quickly realized the man was impaired and also had a suspended license. Well, according to the police department, a vehicle powered by anything other than muscle needs to follow the same rules.
This area is known for piracy threats as reported in the world media. Therefore, we will be operating at a heightened level of security alertness during this period. The external promenade deck will be closed on both sides from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. overnight between the night of 14th and 15th of March, and no guests will be allowed access during these times for the duration of the transit. During the hour of darkness, only essential open deck lights will be on to reduce the ship's external lighting. Please take care if you need to transit the upper outside decks. We also request that you turn off your stateroom lights when not needed and close the curtains of your stateroom window or balcony. In the unlikely event of an emergency, a broadcast will be made by the bridge with the following instructions.
Yeah, I'm so lost, guys. Like, what is turning the lights off gonna do? Will the big bad pirates think no one's home and just turn around if it's completely dark? They have the entire open wide ocean and yet still have to roll through the hood.
Adonis Martinez, age 37, admitted to law enforcement yesterday that he beheaded the 50-year-old manager that worked at this motel. Now that blurred image right there is, yeah, you guessed it. You guessed it. It was like he was in the parking lot playing kickball with that motherfucker. Then he picked it up and decided to go to the dumpster and throw it inside. What type of shit was on this man's mind? This is the suspect that the police put in custody immediately once they seen him walking down the street with a white t-shirt full of blood. But him and the manager of the hotel got into it over a washing machine. Yes, a washing machine. The hotel manager lost his life over a damn washing machine. Adonis Martinez is being held on a capital murder charge as well as an immigration hold. I seriously hope they throw the book at this motherfucker.
Interesting.
My thoughts and my prayers go out to the family of the individual that lost his life due to this guy.
Yeah, I mean, some people throw fits, other people throw domes. Welcome to Dallas, Texas, where a faulty appliance can quite literally cost you your head.
Hold up, y'all. Did y'all see what happened to Nicolas Cage? This man was in Greece filming a horror movie about Jesus, a biblical horror story. And while he was filming, they went into a cave and bees, a whole lot of bees, just swarmed this man and started stinging the shit out of him. Y'all better stop playing with God. People that was on the scene said that shit was out of nowhere, the way they swarmed him. And I know why. Y'all know why too. Who the makes a horror story about Jesus? They had this man in the cave looking like this. God be telling y'all, stop motherfucking playing. If that's not a sign from up above, I don't know what it is then. Do y'all notice that every single time that Hollywood try to do some little weird, wicked games and come up with these weird movies to try to mock God, Jesus, y'all notice some weird shit always happen to them, right? Not even some weird shit, some crazy shit. Some of y'all be thinking, it's just a movie, it's just entertainment. No, bruh, this is a spiritual war. I'ma say this loud and clear. Y'all better stop playing with God, because every time y'all do, he shows y'all who's really running it, who's really in control.
This right here is what happens when method acting goes terribly wrong. Mocking the divine usually comes with consequences. And sadly, for Nick Cage's case, those consequences were a swarm of angry bees.
He's fucking on AFK. Whoever the fuck's controlling him needs to fucking nip right and bud sharpish, mate. What the fuck?
Wow.
What the fuck?
How many people just don't give a fuck? It's typical, isn't it?
What is he doing?
Sometimes. I bet he does that every day, though.
Weird.
I really see the logic in it.
Can't pause there, buddy. It's fucking paused in the middle of the road, man. What the fuck is going on there? Oh!
Stuck in limbo, half human, half glitch, 100% terrifying. This is what happens when reality's frame rate drops and you're still left standing. NPCs don't dodge traffic, guys. They just exist.
Remember when Carlos said AI will finally start a purge? It's already happening in the Philippines.
They're gonna flood 911 with all of these AI calls. 911's not gonna know what call to react to. And then they're gonna go do their crime. It's gonna be like purge.
On Support in the Philippines, shout out for you telling me. They said it's already happening in the Philippines.
What they do?
He sent me an article, right? On GMA News. And you know, GMA News
Yeah,
is pretty
yeah.
big still. And look, it says, just a false alarm. Firefighters responded to a Barangay 20 Manila and thing. This was prompted by an online post showing a truck allegedly on fire. However, firefighters arrived, it was discovered that the truck was not actually burning. Authorities are calling those responsible for spreading false info. So imagine, yo, if you want the cops and all the firefighters out of the area, what do you do?
They did it.
Yes, man. AI, a firefighter burning. All of the people were there? Oh, shit. What there was probably something happening on the other side of the
side, yeah, they're robbing a bank or something.
Yes.
Yo, that's crazy.
It's happening,
I'm telling you, bro, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a huge hype.
Welcome to the Purge 2.0, now with extra pixels and imaginary disasters. Because why let humans panic when computers can do it oh so much better? Next on the news, invisible arsonist strikes again.
This thing is insane. If you haven't seen it yet, this is the Volanaut air bike. It's a personal hover bike that looks like something straight out of Star Wars, and believe me, the company clearly knows this. Its inventor is the same guy who was behind the Jetson 1, but unlike the Jetson 1, the Volanaut is taking a much different approach. According to the company's website, this super bike for the skies is powered by jet propulsion and is designed to carry one person with speeds of up to 124 miles per hour. It has a proprietary stabilization system, which is enhanced by an onboard flight computer that provides automatic hover and easy controls for its rider.
Sure.
It's 7 times lighter than a typical motorcycle thanks to its use of carbon fiber, 3D printing, and a minimalist design approach. The write-up from DuPont Registry says that you simply grip the handlebars like a motorcycle, lean forward, and launch into the air. And the controls are managed through a telemetry-equipped helmet. I'll be honest, my brain is struggling a little bit to believe that this thing is real, but considering who its inventor is, I'm sure it is. I'm also sure that it won't be cheap, but let me know what you guys think.
Half of these people can't even parallel park. But sure, let's hand them a flying death trap. Can't handle a U-turn? No problem. Now you get to terrorize the skies too. And speaking of killer rides,
here's how this roller coaster kills you. Each cart fits 24 people, and they put you all up this 1,600-foot tower. And when you get to the top, people can choose to get off and leave, or keep riding, and they choose this by pressing a button. This is for like death row patients, and it's like another way for them to die that's like a little more fun and exciting, or humane, elegant, and euphoric in the designer's words.
Sure.
Once they decide they want to go down, they go down the tower at 220 miles per hour. That's really fast. So the 7 loop-de-loops on this ride get smaller and smaller, and this puts the body under so much stress that the brain is starved of oxygen and the heart can't push up enough blood under all of that G-force. But this ride is pretty much designed to be so crazy that you lose consciousness and pass away because your body can't take it. They have a monitor on you. So if you survive the first time, they'll just put you through again. Also, if you're interested in watching a POV of this ride, I already have it posted.
because nothing says humane execution quite like 220 miles per hour of straight terror. Oh, survived the ride? Congrats, you're just getting started. Finally, a death sentence that makes you scream. Literally.
In 2010, a 15-year-old boy started to notice that the door to his attic, which was in his bedroom, was always open. One day, when his mom's giving him a hard time about being lazy, he's like, well, you're one to talk. You always leave my attic door open. She's like, I haven't touched your attic door in months, and nobody else has either. Not easily frightened, the boy decides to leave the attic door open. And so he's laying in bed, and he kind of looks over at the door, and standing in the door frame is a figure staring right at him. He bolts, tells his parents, they don't believe him, and then 6 months later they move anyway. A few years later, the boy discovers his favorite teacher actually moved into his old house. Okay. And so he jokingly asks her, you ever see any ghosts walking around your attic? Her face got completely serious, and she's like, as soon as we moved in, the door to the attic kept opening. So we investigated, and we found a trap door that led onto the roof. Someone had been crawling in through that entrance and living in the attic for years.
I mean, who needs imaginary monsters when you've got real ones quite literally squatting by the month? The real horror isn't the ghosts, y'all. It's realizing that someone's been living in your attic like it's prime real estate for years.
South Korea has developed the first known mind control technology. Yeah, they've been working on it for years. Wow. So, they have a technology that can hook up one person's brain or mind to another person's brain or mind, and then control that person. What could possibly go wrong here?
Terrifying.
Researchers at South Korea's Institute for Basic Science said, using magnetic fields, they found a way to keep their female subjects in line. Wait, what?
Female?
What? Female subjects? Yeah, the male South Korean scientists are starting these experiments to see if they can control the minds of women.
Wow.
I think I know where they're going with this, and it ain't good. Nanotech mind control, they call it. A wireless control specifically for regions of the brain that they can control with magnetic fields. And they're starting it out by testing on unsuspecting women. Or maybe women volunteers, although who would really volunteer to let a group of men control your mind if you're a woman? Okay, I just wanted to share this with all of you.
Yeah, guys, just think. Your thoughts, your dreams, all someone else's property now. It's like it's your brain and their playground, and guess what? You don't even get access to it. The future is not robots taking over, guys. It's humans puppeteering other humans.
This story comes from the very area that's forbidden. That's fucking weird. Well, the whole Grand Canyon thing is bananas. Like, there's areas of the Grand Canyon you cannot explore.
You cannot go, you cannot fly over, and you can't fly under the rim. Yet when you go to those bad places, suddenly white plane flies over under the rim, black helicopters show up. I showed it in my episode. I showed the black helicopters showing up. Like
they are protecting something. It's not as simple as this is a dangerous area. There's been these crazy stories of people finding these caverns with like Egyptian artwork and hieroglyphics and these stories of artifacts that have been removed from there.
It shows up, I believe, in like the Phoenix Gazette. It's 1903 or so. And the explorer is G.E. Kincaid. So he finds these steps that are clearly man-made. He follows the steps up and there's a cave, and he goes in there and he describes hieroglyphics that look Egyptian but are not quite. Finds a statue that he describes as like Buddha, not Egyptian, not human, but sort of like Buddha. And all these weapons, shields, gold, all sorts of stuff. He keeps going. He finds a deserted city in the caves, and all these tunnels and caverns go everywhere, and he's trying to map everything. He comes out and he goes back to town and he gathers together a group. We're gonna go find the stuff again. And a couple of weeks go by and everyone's gathered to go on the expedition. He never shows. The expedition goes nowhere, and that's really the last we've heard of it.
There's no official story as to why this area of the Grand Canyon is off limits.
For your safety.
The forbidden zone, they call it.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird. That's fucking weird. This story comes from the very area that's forbidden. That's fucking weird.
Creepy. I'll tell you what, it wasn't too long ago that we were seeing clips of these Middle Eastern men just popping up in America saying that they walked here through a portal in the Grand Canyon. So, I don't know. What do you think, guys? Is there a portal in the Grand Canyon? Let us know down below.
A year ago, we thought we found what we believe to be signs of microbial life on the Mars surface. And so we put it out to our scientific friends to pressure test it, to analyze it, and go, did we get this right? Do we think this is signs of ancient life on Mars? And after a year of review, they've come back and they said, listen, we can't find another explanation. So this very well could be the clearest sign of life that we've ever found on Mars.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. I feel like anytime they're trying to distract us from any political madness that's going on, they hit us with this topic. Kind of like, don't look over here at the untimely demise of an American hero named Charlie Kirk, who was quite literally executed, and look over here. You know, we found out that there might have been aliens 8 million years ago. Isn't that so much better? That's all I got for this one. Leave us a comment. Let us know your thoughts. Smash that like and subscribe button. Fam, we just passed 70K. We are almost at 100K. Go check out our Instagram, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.